Welcome back to Grammar Grade 10. This is Unit 6, Lesson 43, and we're staying with subject-verb agreement, but today we take on the sneakiest trap in the whole topic. It shows up with linking verbs. You'll write a sentence, glance at the word sitting right beside the verb, match the verb to that word, and you'll be wrong. Because the linking verb answers to one word only, and that word is the subject. Let's see how it works. Before we touch the new rule, let's bring two old friends back onto the board. Back in Lesson 6, we met the linking verb, a verb that shows no action at all, but simply joins the subject to a word that renames or describes it. Then, in Lesson 18, we met the word that so often sits on the far side of that verb. When it is a noun that renames the subject, we call it a predicate nominative. Look at this sentence. The winner was Ramona. Was is the linking verb, and Ramona is the predicate nominative. She renames the winner. Hold on to both of those, because today's rule lives exactly where they meet. The verb agrees with the subject, never with the word that follows it. Here is the rule, plain and simple. Only the subject affects the linking verb. Nothing else in the sentence gets a vote. Not the predicate nominative, and not any phrase wedged in between. Most of the time, you never even notice this rule, because the subject and the word after the verb happen to match. But look at the shape of the sentence. Subject, then linking verb, then predicate nominative. Those two nouns, the one in front of the verb and the one behind it, can differ in number. One can be singular while the other is plural. And when they do differ, that is when people reach for the wrong one, because the predicate nominative is sitting right there, closer to the verb, practically shouting for attention. Now watch the centerpiece of this lesson. I'm going to write the same idea twice, and the verb is going to flip. Here is the first version. The best part of the trip. That is what the sentence is about, so that is our subject, and part is singular. Then comes the linking verb, was, and after it, the long hikes, plural, sitting right next to the verb, but only a predicate nominative. It gets no vote. Singular subject, singular verb. Now let's say the very same thing the other way around. The long hikes. Now those are the subject, and hikes is plural. So the verb has to be were. And what follows the verb this time? The best part, now serving as the predicate nominative. Same trip, same hikes, same opinion, but the verb flipped, and it flipped for exactly one reason. The subject flipped. Let me show you the mistake in the wild, because it is everywhere. Someone writes, the best part of the trip were the long hikes. Say it out loud. It almost sounds right, doesn't it? That is the trap. The word hikes is plural, and it is standing right next to the verb, so the ear gets pulled toward it and picks were. But hikes is not the subject. The subject is part, all the way back at the front of the sentence, and part is singular. So the correct sentence is, the best part of the trip was the long hikes. Was agrees with part, the subject, and it ignores everything after the verb, no matter how loudly that plural noun stands there waving at you. One quick expansion, because linking verbs are not only forms of be. The rule holds for every linking verb you will ever meet. Is, are, was, were. That is the be family, the one you know best. But it also covers remains and remain, becomes and become, seems and seem, appears and appear. Every one of them links a subject to a word that renames or describes it, and every one of them takes its number from the subject alone. Watch. The main attraction remains the old carousels. Carousels is plural, and it sits right after the verb. but it is the predicate nominative, so it gets no vote at all. The subject is attraction, singular, so the verb is remains. Same rule, different verb. So here is the method, and it is only 3 steps. Step 1, find the linking verb. Step 2, ask who or what before it. The word that answers is your subject, because the subject always comes ahead of the linking verb, never behind it. Step 3, match the verb to that word and to nothing else. And here is a physical trick that makes it nearly foolproof. Cover the words after the verb with your hand. Literally hide them. Now you cannot be tempted, because the only noun left in view is the subject. Say it to yourself until it sticks. The predicate nominative gets no vote. Time to practice. In this first set, I will give you a sentence with the verb missing. Find the subject first. Remember, it comes before the linking verb. And let the subject choose. Pause the video and decide before I reveal each answer. The best gift, blank, the handmade cards. Find the subject. Who or what is this sentence about? The best gift. Gift is singular, so the verb must be singular too. Yes, cards is plural, but cards sits after the verb, so it gets no vote at all. The answer is was. Ripe figs, blank, the parrot's favorite snack. The subject comes before the verb, ripe figs. Figs is plural, so the verb has to be plural. Do not let the word snack, singular and sitting right there beside the blank, pull you the other way. The answer is are. The loudest sound in the canyon, blank, the falling rocks. Careful, 2 nouns are tugging at you here. In the canyon is just a prepositional phrase, and rocks comes after the verb. Strip both away and the subject is sound, which is singular, so the answer is was. In this second set, the trap is set on purpose. Each sentence parks a noun of the opposite number right beside the verb. Cover it with your hand, find the real subject, and choose. Pause and try each one before I answer. Comfortable shoes, blank, a hiker's best friend. The word friend is singular, and it is sitting right there, begging you to write is. Cover it with your hand. What is left in front of the verb? Comfortable shoes, plural. So the answer is are. The prize for the winners, blank, 2 free tickets. 2 plural nouns are grabbing for the verb here, winners and tickets. But winners is buried inside the prepositional phrase for the winners, and tickets comes after the verb. The subject is prize, and prize is singular. So we write, the prize for the winners is 2 free tickets. Cedar trees, blank, the pride of this park. Remember, the rule works for every linking verb, not just be. The word pride is singular, but it comes after the verb, so ignore it completely. The subject is cedar trees, and that is plural, so the answer is remain. Let's gather it up. A linking verb agrees with its subject, and never with the predicate nominative, no matter how close that word sits to the verb, and no matter how loudly it disagrees in number. Remember our pair. The best part of the trip was the long hikes. The subject is part, singular, so the verb is was. Flip it around and you get, the long hikes were the best part of the trip. The subject is hikes, plural, so the verb is were. Same idea, and the verb simply obeys whichever word landed in the subject slot. So here is the habit to build. Find the subject first. Cover everything after the verb with your hand, and let the subject, and only the subject, set the number. Practice that, and this trap will never catch you again. I'll see you in the next lesson.